Hello Scouts, it's Mr. Kugler, finding another way to bake some pizza. So today we have two chafing pans. One is about the normal depth, which I would say is about 2 inches deep, and the bottom one is about 5.5, 6 inches deep. And I have them bolted together. I've got some wing nuts on the inside and some 1/4 bolts, 1-inch bolts, and some washers. That enables me to disassemble it easily without tools if I wanted to. And this is going to sit down over some pizza screens. And then I'm going to shovel coals in this top pan here. These are stainless steel. They're going to hold up to the temperature, and it's going to conduct that heat down and act as an oven and bake from the top down, just like you would with a Dutch oven. Now, what do I have my pan sitting on? My pans are sitting on 4 number 10 cans, and these are like you'd get a can of peaches or a big can of tomato sauce. I've washed them out, and actually in each one of these cans, I have it about 3/4 of the way filled up with water. Now, why would I want to put water in there? And then it's covered in foil to keep material out of the water. But why do I want the water there? 2 reasons. First of all, it's going to give some weight to those cans and it's going to stabilize it. The second thing is it's going to create some warm water. Not that I'm not going to drink that water, but it would be good for washing my dishes in my wash water. So I'm serving 2 purposes at the same time. I'm creating some wash water, something that we always find in scouting is a challenge, having enough pots and pans and burners to be able to get enough hot water for our dishwashing. And then our grate that's sitting here. This came out of an old gas grill that was being thrown away. And I just cleaned it off. I've got it set here. I'm going to be putting my pizza screen on there, so it's not going to be coming in direct contact with that grate anyways. So let's get started. We have our fire burning over here, creating some nice coals for us. In a moment, we'll shovel some underneath this grate. We'll let them burn down a little bit more. And let's go prep our pizzas. We're going to start with just less than a pound of pizza dough that is pre-made from the grocery store. You can buy these in small pound packages. I picked up mine today a little more in bulk. It was just under 6 pounds. And what I did earlier today, about 4 or 5 hours ago, is I put it in a big plastic container. I'm doing a couple pizzas today, and I portioned out the dough and I let it proof by sitting and relaxing and coming to room temperature. It just makes that dough more pliable and easier to work. So with these pizza screens that are about 10 inches in diameter, I'm going to take this pound of pizza dough and I'm going to eye it, and I'm just going to cut it in half. Now my board here, I added a little flour to before. I'll add a little bit more. Try to do it with the wind blowing here. I want to get some on my hands as well because I'm going to be working this dough now. Get that end that I cut. And then what I'm going to be doing with this dough is I'm just trying to get it to form into a circle that'll be about 10 inches in diameter, so it'll work well on my pizza screens. And one of the things you can do is I can take a little bit of the flour and put some on my rolling pin here. And then I can use that rolling pin. If I didn't have the flour on it, it would likely stick to that dough. It works it a little bit, and really gravity will really be your friend here. You could tug. If you get a little tear like I just did there, you just squeeze it together. We're camping here. We're having fun. We're not stressing over if the pizza is perfectly round or there's a little hole in it. We want to try to close up the holes just because it'll make a mess with the toppings. And I want to leave a little room on the side because I don't know about you, but one of my favorite parts about pizza is the crust. One of the other things I'm striving for is a nice thin pizza crust here. It's going to make it easier to cook without burning the bottom. So let's take a look. I'm going to bring over one of my pizza screens, just eye it up. And that's about right. I don't have to be exact. I could be a little oblong. It's part of the beauty of this. What I'm going to do to get started here, it's very important to take your pizza screens, which are these aluminum screens that allow the bottom of the crust to get nice and crispy. So the bottom can get crispy, yet the top can cook as well. I'm going to spray it down with a little canola oil, this being Pam spray. Do it. That's going to make cleanup so much easier, especially if I'm camping. If I don't do that, first of all, the pizza's going to stick to the screen, and second of all, anything that gets on it is really going to become a problem to clean, especially in all those little spaces on that screen. Little spot there I got to close up, just make sure it's not stuck through the screen. So I've got one pizza circle there, and I'm going to do two for this. They'll fit side by side, and I'll go and make my second pizza round, pizza dough. I'll mix it out and we'll get ready to put some toppings on. So I'm ready to do my toppings. Today I'm going to have a little fun, and I'm going to do two different pizzas. I'm going to do a shrimp pesto. Did that on another video where I did the tripod pizza. Just love it, and truth be known, I'm filming on the same day, so I've got those toppings available. And then I'm going to do a cheese pizza with a little pepperoni. Seems to be a favorite of most of us, and we'll be able to do that as well. So I'm going to start off with the shrimp pesto. This is a pesto with basil. This has oil in it, obviously basil. And I'm going to smooth some on the top of my pie here. What I want to do is I want to put enough to cover the pie in the center. I don't want to cover, I want to have my crust free of the pesto sauce. This pesto sauce is right from the grocery store. It's got all the seasonings in it, so it just makes it really easy. Now what I'll do is I'm going to add some cheese. This is mozzarella cheese, shredded. And I want to make sure that I keep the shredded cheese inside of the crust. I don't want it on my pizza screen, and I don't want it on the crust. If it gets on the pizza screen, it's going to make a mess. And if we're out in the woods cooking, we don't want to be dealing with that, especially with our cleanup. So I've got a little bit of cheese there. Now I'm going to add, these are pre-cooked shrimp. They were frozen. And they were rather inexpensive in comparison, especially for protein on your pizza. I bought a whole pound, and I barely used a fraction of that right now, especially for this small 10-inch pie. So that can go a long way. And what I like about it is I don't have to pre-cook this before I put it on, and I know that it's safe to eat when it gets done. Having different flavor pizza when you're doing this, a lot of our scouts have different likes and dislikes, and this creates a great opportunity to mix it up a little bit and be able to meet everybody's needs. Now I'm going to take, and I have some squeeze pizza sauce right from the grocery store. It has all the seasonings in it. It's ready to go. It's a squeeze bottle, so it cuts down on the mess. And I can literally drizzle this on my pie. I really don't need a lot. Barely a tablespoon. I'll use my spoon. Spread that out again, keeping it away from the edge. I want my crust on the edge of that pizza to be free of any of the sauce. And then I'm going to add some pepper, actually, I'm one of those people that likes my pepperoni on top. So let's add the cheese first. Really doesn't matter. You could put the pepperoni underneath. Think of all the other toppings that you could do. You could cook up ahead of time some ground pork, all kinds of different toppings that you could put on your pizza. And if you're bored and you can't figure out what you want to do, go online and go to a restaurant, pizza restaurant, and check out what their offerings are and see what their menu says if you were to order online. And that may give you some ideas for your pizzas. Doesn't that look pretty? So we've got our 2 pizzas prepped. I've got a couple extra pepperonis that I can eat as I change camera shots. And let's go get these on the fire and stoke up some coals underneath our grate and load the top of that pizza oven so we can be one step closer to some delicious baked pizza. So let's get started getting some coals underneath our grate and inside the top of our oven. Use your hand as a thermometer to see how much heat you have there. Add a little more wood to this fire so I continue to have coals throughout my pizza baking. Now that I have my heat from top and bottom creating an oven, I'll go get my pizzas and put them on the grate. I'll take and move this oven off to the side for a moment. Put my pizzas on this grate, space them out so that my top oven cover can fit. Now we'll let the heat do its job and bake these pizzas from the top and from the bottom, and it'll have a nice smoky, one of those wood oven type flavors to this pizza when it's done. So our pizza, I just checked it a couple, maybe about a minute ago or so, and at about the 5-minute mark, I added a little more heat to the top because I noticed that my bottom was cooking faster than my top. And then at about 7 minutes in, I pulled away the heat from underneath the stove and brought it out to the edge, both sides of the grate. And I just wanted to try to get some top heat down because my crusts on the bottom were looking awesome. And the top I wanted to just crisp up a little more. It was perfectly fine, but I like my crust a little crunchy. So we're right at the 8-minute mark now, 8 minutes, 20 seconds or so. Let's take a look and see what we got for pizza. Those 2 pizzas look awesome. So why don't we get those over on the pans over there and we'll cut them open. So 2 perfectly cooked pies. Let's see if we could take a quick look. And you can see the bottom of that is gorgeous. The bottom of that is just amazing. Let's take and get a feel for that. That is just one beautiful crispy pepperoni pizza and a nice shrimp on basil pesto. Made with 2 chafing pans, a deep one and a shallow one, bolted together, put over an old gas grill grate on 4 number 10 cans, 3/4 filled with water with a little foil on the top, making my wash water for later. A nice wood fire that's giving that wood smoky flavor to the pizzas, just like if you went to some fancy pizza joint. How can it get any better when you're out in the woods and you're cooking like this? I hope this has inspired you to think about pizza in a new way and think about the fact that you can do this when you're camping with your patrol and with your troop. Get out there, have some fun, expand your horizons and your cooking methods when you're cooking, and get out there and enjoy yourself.